What's going on, guys? Skyliner Productions here, and today we're going to be discussing what's next for Disney Speedstorm. As we all know, Season 3 is amazing so far, and it's Lilo and Stitch themed, but we really have no idea what Season 4 and Season 5 are going to be themed after, and who the mid-season racers of each of those seasons are going to be. So in this video today, I'm going to be taking a look at all of the clues, all the answers, all the stuff that we know about what's coming next for Disney Speedstorm, and what we can expect to see in seasons 4 and 5. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe because it really helps me out, and I appreciate everyone who does. Without further ado, let's hop into the video. To start things off, we know that Season 4 of Disney Speedstorm is going to be launching on September 28th according to the in-game timers, and it also just makes a lot of sense because that's when the game is going free to play on all platforms and hopefully going global on mobile, although nothing has been confirmed about that yet. Now, as for the theme for Season 4, we have zero idea, zero clues, zero confirmations, nothing like that. What we do know, however, is that Jasmine is going to be coming to the game at some point in the future, and I cannot really see them announcing her this early and holding her all the way until Season 5 or later, so I think Jasmine is going to be joining the game in Season 4. Now, along with Jasmine, I don't think we're just going to be getting her. I think we're going to be getting the whole Aladdin crew. Aladdin is one of the most iconic Disney franchises, and I think it would make a lot of sense to have a whole season themed around. I can't really see them just adding Aladdin and Jasmine, as there's so much potential with this movie, and I think adding Jasmine, Aladdin, Genie, Jafar, and maybe some other people from that franchise would make a lot of sense in Disney Speedstorm, not to mention the wonderful track that could be created with you racing through the Cave of Wonders, the streets of Agrabah, through the palace, and more. So I think Season 4 is going to be Aladdin themed, but that's just my personal theory. Obviously, we haven't heard official confirmation yet, but I think this makes a lot of sense, and it's what a lot of people in the community have been speculating as of late. Now, another thing about Season 4 is if they were to do an Aladdin themed season, we would have Jafar in the game, which makes a lot of sense because of this one question and answer that was asked in Season 1 of Disney Speedstorm, being, can we expect something sinister coming to the game around Halloween time? And the Disney Speedstorm team replied, yes, there will be some villainous surprises awaiting us come around the fall spooky Halloween season, which basically means we are going to be getting villains in the game next season because Season 4 is going to take place over the course of October and the months sort of like right before and after that, the end of September, all of October, and start of November. So if there's a time to add villains, it's going to be Season 4. So I think the mid-season racers of Season 4 are going to be villain themed. Now, with a couple villains coming to the game in Season 4, that opens the door for a lot of potential racers. There are so many iconic Disney villains: Maleficent, Captain Hook, Ursula, Cruella de Vil, the list goes on and on and on. However, I think the villains they choose are going to be from a pre-existing collection, because according to another question and answer result back in Season 1, we know that mid-season racers can be from existing franchises or they can be from a new franchise, but they were sort of leaning towards the first one and saying that they'll add ones from a new franchise later on down the road, and I don't think Season 4 is that later on down the road for them to start doing this, which is why I think the villains they're adding to the game in Season 4 are going to be from pre-existing franchises. Now, this is just a wild guess, and they could totally add whatever villains they want, but I personally think the villains will be like Shan Yu, Gaston, Davy Jones, some of those that sort of already align with the franchises that we already have into the game, because there are plenty to choose from. I think Hades and Gaston alone are both super iconic villains and would work really well in the game. If they were to add villains from franchises that we haven't already seen, I would say Maleficent is the most likely one, as she is sort of the mistress of all evil and is like the top Disney villain, and it wouldn't really make sense to have a whole Halloween season and villains event without Maleficent in the game. So I think villains are mostly going to come from pre-existing franchises, but if we do get one or two that are special, I think Maleficent is the most likely contender for that. So those are my predictions for season 4 of Disney Speedstorm. I think Aladdin is going to be the central theme of the season, with 4 seasonal racers in the form of Aladdin, Jasmine, Genie, and Jafar. And then I think we're going to have 2 to 3 villain mid-season racers in the form of Gaston, Hades, and then the third slot either being taken by Shan Yu or Maleficent, depending on what they decide to do. But what about Season 5? Well, the community has actually been making a prediction for a really long time that I think has an amazing chance at coming to the game in Season 5, and that is none other than Frozen. As we all know, Season 5 is going to take place around the holiday season, and so I think Frozen would be a perfect wintry vibe and fit for the season, not to mention it's a hugely popular Disney franchise, and it'll be just after the launch of free-to-play, which I think would make a lot of sense to sort of put some of your big franchises to draw people into the game while it's new and fresh and free for everyone. But what racers from Frozen do I think will be added to the game, and why do I think Frozen will be added to the game? Well, let's get into that. Now, for those who haven't heard, on the update day for Season 3, there were actually 5 mottos accidentally added into Disney Speedstorm. As you can see by the picture on screen, there were 2 mottos, one for Anna, one for Olaf, and then the 3 others I believe were for Elsa, Kristoff, and Hans. So I think if a Frozen season were to come into the game, that those 5 racers, Anna, Elsa, Olaf, Kristoff, and Hans, would be coming to the game for the Frozen season. And I think a Frozen season is basically confirmed at this point, because why would they add 5 mottos into the game and then quickly remove them if they weren't trying to hide upcoming characters coming to the game? And these mottos also sound a lot like the ones that you get in ranked multiplayer. When you get a character to a certain rank, you unlock their sort of signature motto. And so I think when you're playing ranked multiplayer as these Frozen characters, these are the mottos that you're going to have to unlock once you get them to a high enough rank. So yeah, I think Season 5, especially because it's around Christmas time, is going to be Frozen themed with those 5 main characters. Those 5 main characters are also on like every poster promoting Frozen 1, and so I think it makes a ton of sense for them to be the representatives of that game. Plus, we get another villain, and the 4 other characters just make a ton of sense. I mean, Olaf is super iconic, Kristoff is the love interest of Anna, and then Anna and Elsa, you know, they're both Disney princesses, some of the most iconic Disney characters in the world. Now, as for the mid-season racers for Season 5, I actually don't really have any ideas. It could be an extremely wide variety of characters, maybe potentially Christmas themed, maybe not, I don't know. Who do you guys think they should add to the game as the 2 or 3 mid-season racers for Season 5 of Disney Speedstorm? I really honestly don't have any predictions for you guys. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and let's move on. What's going to come to Disney Speedstorm after Season 5? Now for this, we can sort of use the survey as predictions. If you guys haven't seen my breakdown of the survey, there were a ton of Disney franchises in it, asking people their opinions on them and what franchises they would like to see in Disney Speedstorm basically, and it ranged from anywhere from The Little Mermaid to Phineas and Ferb, just a ton of Disney franchises that I think a lot have a decent shot of getting into the game at some point, especially if a lot of people voted very favorably for that franchise. Now, something even more important about this survey is there were certain franchises that weren't mentioned, and these are none other than The Lion King, Moana, and Aladdin. Now, obviously, we know that Aladdin is going to be coming to the game already because of Jasmine, but The Lion King and Moana not being asked about is really interesting because they are super big and iconic Disney movies. So why would the Disney Speedstorm team not want to know people's opinions on these franchises and whether or not they want to see them come to the game? And my best guess is that there are already planned Lion King and Moana characters coming to the game, and so they don't need our opinion because we know they're gonna love them and they've already planned for their additions to the game. So I think Season 6, 7, 8, in the future, just down the line, I think we will see a Lion King season, and I think we will see a Moana season, or Moana and Maui as additions as mid-season racers. So yeah, that's my predictions for Season 4, Season 5, and a little bit down the line in Disney Speedstorm. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments your predictions if you agree with mine. I tried to be as objective as possible, making sure I'm not biased, and this is genuinely what I think is going to come to the game. But that's all I have for you guys. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.